Hey, what's up? So I'm trying to figure out what is going on with my relays and my fuses, because when I unlock my car, or, well, first of all, we'll start. I've checked the battery. You can see here, my terminals are clean. They look actually really well, really good. So the next culprit is to see if any of these fuses or relays are causing the problem. When I charged this, it goes into the green really easy, was kind of in a yellow, so something's pulling on it. I don't have a battery meter yet, which I'll probably go buy today, just to confirm that there's a pull, but, I mean, I don't know what else it would be. The other reason why I think it's a relay, is because, and I'll show you the noise, is when I unlock it with the key fob, there's kind of this buzzing, almost clicking, hissing sound. So these guys, I learned, make that clicking sound because in order to complete this circuit, you can see it, this little window over here, it's an electromagnet. So right now nothing's operating, but when the relay gets clicked in with the electromagnet, I mean, once that activates, this window, this door, like a swinging door, shuts and completes the circuit. So, you know, me not knowing anything really about cars or too much, you know, whenever you hear a clicking noise, you think it's going to be bad, but you're actually supposed to hear some of that. But let me show you what it sounds like when I unlock it with the key fob. And you'll hear it, hopefully. Maybe people will know what's going on. You can also see my dome light is also, as it clicks, it is, let me get it up there. I don't know if the camera's catching it, but it's flickering as well. So, get this out of my things. That is not what I want. Alright. I don't know how many no's I'm going to get for using this tool, but I use this to pull out the relay. My fingers are very small, which is a benefit really for the fuses, but pulling these guys out I found kind of difficult. My hand grip strength is not too great. So the reason I pulled out this guy, which came from right here, is because when this was in, it was a lot louder, so I can actually show you. That's why I knew it had something to do with this guy. Again, these aren't the easiest thing to get in and out. But you'll see how much louder that was. So, I kind of felt them all, and you can just really feel my dome light actually is a lot worse. So, you can feel this one really vibrating quite a bit. So, something's going on with that mechanism. My second culprit seems to be this guy. Everybody else had been pretty stable. So, I'm going to gently remove this guy. And you kind of want to wiggle him out slowly. Kind of once you get him out, you can pull him. There. What I learned also, you want to be careful because really this is just a casing. You can see the opening here. If I really wanted to get down and dirty, I could. It looks like the videos look pretty easy. You can actually pop off the container, and there's a coil, magnetic coil kind of running lengthwise, and then a push little mechanism here that as it pushes, ignites the coil. So basically that shutter action completes the circuit, allows that relay to work. However, I found out they were saying, I don't know, with Corvette, might be different. Everything's more expensive with this car. But they say these run about 20 bucks for the relay. If that's the case, I'm probably just going to buy an alternate relay. Other cool thing I learned is if they're all of the same color, they should be of the same voltage or amperage. Again, I'm still learning, but like let's say I had some of these gray ones that are the same size, I could actually move that to another gray and see if I'm still getting the same issue. But sadly, this is my only of this size black. I have this big black block one here, so I'm actually not going to be able to do that today, which kind of sucks because I was hoping to try that out before I go all the way to AutoZone. Anyway, I digress. So second part. So identify this guy. He was vibrating pretty good in there. So the next thing I want to do is look at my fuse. Let me see. Yeah, so, you know, if you guys have ever seen fuse boxes, they're very similar to what you have in your house, and it tells you how to shut something off if you're doing work on it. Your car has the same thing. So you want to follow this diagram and figure out where this guy came from, and then you can use your manual because there's a lot of acronyms. So real quick, I'm just going to see and identify which guy I need here. So if I'm reading this correctly, I believe it's 38 is what I just took out, and it looks like backup LP, which I would assume is my backup lamp. Obviously, I'm going to want that if I'm backing up. I want somebody to see my tail lights and know that I'm coming back. In Florida, doesn't really matter because nobody stops anyway. So I could go without this if I wanted, and just be very careful and not get pulled over. So the next thing I'm going to do is locate this second guy that was vibrating pretty hard. Make sure. And now this guy is one of the grays, so I could actually pull somebody else over and see if that's going to work. So it looks like 39. 39 is my fog lamp. So again, something I can go without. So just going to gently again kind of wiggle these guys out. Don't want to crush the casing. There we go. And then you always, they say to check for any discoloration. On one of the C6 model Corvettes, his casing was kind of white, and which is actually kind of nice because you can see if there's any discoloration better. But anyway, it got like burnt, almost like a light brown coffee color. So he knew that there was something heating up more than it should in that relay. But again, there doesn't seem to be any discoloration. You know, obviously there's some wear on the prongs just from pulling them in and out over time. Again, as far as I know, just the second owner of this car. And the other guy wasn't too savvy, so I doubt he was in here all that often, as far as I know. So I'm going to click my key fob again, see if the vibration's gone down. At least see if that was some of the problem. So let's try this. Awesome. Lock it. You can kind of hear my horn is a little low, which I found out can also be one of these relays, but it's basically because my battery's probably been draining from one of these relays being out and pulling, is what I'm hoping. It's that simple. So because I don't need the fog lamp, oh actually let me check and see if that relay is bad. So because I'm not getting any more vibration, I can pull a similar color and size and put it in there. And then this is actually going to give me a little bit of information. So if it's your relay, like I said, 20 bucks, you go get a new relay hopefully. Put it in, and then you're good to go. No more drain. Not much out of pocket. I didn't have to go somewhere, and then they tell me, oh, it's going to be an electrical problem, and we had to do all this shit, and, well, stuff. Anyway, so if I can find out that it's just a relay, that's going to be a relief, because it's a hell of a lot cheaper. Because if it's not your relay, and then it's not your fuse, which is, you know, some of these little guys, then the problem you're going to have is that it's a wiring issue. And if that's the case, some wiring is easier to get to. But again, your wires are going to go all the way up under the car. And then what sucks is mine are my fog lamps and my backup lamp. Which means I'm assuming that my wiring is going to go all the way to the back of my car. And I am not well versed enough in any of that to know how to trail my wiring, and that's probably going to be beyond what I can do. Alright, so let's see if that vibrates still. So it does. I actually just did it that one time. So maybe that was just a normal click. That sounds like good news to me. Let me see what I removed. I guess I should have checked that too. So I removed 237, which says... Oh, so I have a backup lamp and then a rear fog lamp. So that is actually to defrost, I think, my small back window on the cloth top. Or the rag top. So, could do without that too. Honestly, in this model, that doesn't work so well anyway. Maybe it's because, again, I have a convertible and it just doesn't pick up that much heat. And I'm going to put it back where it belongs, just so I remember. I'm going to go take some notes. And I'm going to let the battery charge and see if maybe I caught the drain. So I'm going to come back in a few hours. I'm going to hook it up to my charger, which is this guy here that my dad let me have. I mean, see it? Yeah. So this guy can do a slow charge, it can do a quick charge. If that's the case, I might have just saved myself, you know, a couple $100 from not having to go to get a new battery, especially in this model car. My understanding is they're a little bit more. And then hopefully it's not a wiring issue. So, it's just me, but hopefully you guys learned something today, because, I don't know, brand new. I said I wanted to try to show you guys what I do with my car. You guys can laugh along with me as things don't go well, or offer some insight. So, thanks for listening. And if you have any insight, comment or something. Thanks.